Guys, my name is Nonema Tigelo. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about something that happened in the courts. I think Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. Towards the end. So Usibanda was busy doing cross-examination of Makosonke, witness Makosonke, and then in his trade of doing that cross-examination, he ends up getting to the statement. And now when he was getting into the contents of the statement, I guess I'm not a legal what. So Umnisi knew and he was listening. Umnisi was waiting for him somewhere in his cross-examination. I'm waiting for you to get to a certain point. When he got to whatever point Umnisi wanted him to get, after asking, is this your statement? Is this is this your name, your surname, your contact number, you work at so-and-so, the address, the ID number, the signature, all of that shit. Now, there is something that I suppose Umnisi missed there that did not happen, that was supposed to happen on legal terms. That Usibanda did not do. Then Umnisi was like, no, you can't. You still need to prove the statement. And the statement was not, okay, I suppose it was proving the statement thoroughly, which Usibanda did not do. That is where Yena Umnisi baye bagejana khona. So there was back and forth of objections there. And then Judge Rata was like, okay, this is about the evidence, blah, blah, blah. It's not about the statement. And then Umnisi was like, no, I do have authority that speaks about that because Judge Rata requested for an authority. And he was like, yeah, I know. State versus government, and I also have other cases, but I don't have the case with me. Judge Rata was like, no, okay, then go and get and prepare those arguments with Zako and bring those authorities tomorrow. And now we adjourn. That was that. That was Wednesday. On Thursday, we come back and the new judge, he must repeat all of that, the objection and stuff. And it's like, it's already on record. He's like, no, man, just repeat it sharp. He repeats. Before Nisi can even read or tell us anything about government, the judge was like, I'm not interested. I'm allowing Sibanda to do the cross-examination. That, guys, was done without proving the statement. Once again, just like it was done when it was the statement of Gwabini. Sharp. I don't think Umnisi took that well. He was really not impressed with Ujadrat, but he's the judge. Fine. Lona did the statement and got and finished doing his thing. Umnisi, like he said then was like, ngizombamba pho ngizombamba khona but ngizomthola yabona le asizuyiyeka ndingadilanga naye. Fine. Now ulona uSibanda wayenza into yakhe waqeda. Then when Judge Rata was before even Usibanda was able to do the cross-examination, when he was questioning Judge Rata on this ruling and stuff, Judge Rata, what if you have a problem? Go take me to appeal. Take me to a guys, there is something Judge Rata are strong guy, no take me to appeal. Umtanda kabi, take me to appeal. Umtanda kabi, take me to appeal. It was not a throwaway exchange what happened in that court. It was a false line moment in the Senzomeyiwa trial, I promise you. When Advocate Mnisu stood up and formally declared that he would be going on appeal because Judge Rata threw that at him, but take me on appeal. Umnisi wasn't venting when he did that. He said, thank you, my lord, and I will take you on appeal. He wasn't posturing Umnisi when he said that. He was doing something very specific and very dangerous to ignore. He put that on record. He did that. He put that on notice, and he was like, I'm putting it on record. And an appeal announcement in open court means one thing. Counsel believes the trial has crossed a line that is that higher courts must examine, because what the hell is this? Then came the response from Judge Rata Mukwatleng, good luck. I was like, Haibo, he likes doing that. I go take me, we am trying to take me on appeal and then say good luck. Who take me on appeal and say good luck. I don't even know the meaning of that. That wasn't a judge being neutral. That wasn't judicial restraint. That was confrontation from the bench. Ebe confrontational. And he was saying to me, I heard him saying, I know people them now go SCA, you are not gonna win that. You're not gonna win. No one is gonna do anything to me. That's what I could hear him say. No one is gonna do anything to me. Nothing is going to happen. Good luck, all the best when it comes to that. I don't care. My goodness. But the moment didn't stop there. It didn't stop there, guys. That judge went on and on and on and on. Mind you, in South African criminal procedure, judges are expected to protect the appearance of fairness, not spare with counsel when appellate rights are invoked. Because here is the real issue here. An appeal is not an insult. It is a constitutional mechanism. So why now he throws that constitutional mechanism on the defense, and when they accept it, then he is not happy. But that moment did not stop there, Gesana. The judge then pivoted into that this is where it gets explosive situation, hinting that I know he he moved on from Umnisi. After that, he was like, yeah, this one, it sounds like that. Those I was listening to the other guys, meaning TikTok lives. He listened to TikTok lives. This is the kind of judge we are dealing with. He was listening to a TikTok live because what he said, I was listening on that live too. Yeah, I know. I was listening to these other guys that were saying trial within a trial, and they think they know everything, but they know nothing. They are know nothings. They're saying that I should relax because he was saying to people they should relax because he hasn't written a judgment. But the behaviors is saying that he has written a judgment. That statement alone revealed more than it conceals because appeals and reviews are not limited to written judgments. Appellate courts routine interrogate judicial conduct, which Judge Ratha, suffers from a lot of misconduct when it comes to what he does in that courtroom. Intervention from the bench, that's what he does. Tone and intimidation, on top of the range when it comes to that. Whether counsel was improperly curtailed, that's what he does. Whether the trial atmosphere remained balanced, it wasn't. It never was. It never will be, as long as Judge Ratha is sitting there. And all of that lives on record, not on paper. And Judge Ratha thinks that he is untouchable, guys. Yeah, then also an uncomfortable truth is that you can say you haven't written a judgment, but you cannot unsay what was spoken. You cannot erase what was broadcasted, and you cannot rewind a courtroom once fairness is questioned. Mnisi's declaration did something powerful. It shifted the gravity of the room. From that moment on, the trial stopped being only about evidence and witness. It became about process, posture, and power, the one that Judge Ratha aqhayisa ngayo. And when a judge responds to an appeal with good luck, appellate judges don't hear confidence, they hear defensiveness. This exchange will follow this case. It will be cited, it will be replayed, and it may one day be read word for word in a higher court. It was not noise. It was not drama. It was procedural warning shot. And Umnisi was within his rights because he was told to take me to appeal. What the hell was he supposed to do? What the hell was he supposed to do? Because the judge did take me to appeal. Usile uJudge Ratha kakhulu futhi hayi kancane. Usile. He's rude, arrogant, and all. And I believe he thinks no one can do anything to him. He's untouchable. I need him to, before he dies, he be shown that he is touchable by stripping him off of that Judge Ndonto. He needs to be stripped off, and that way he will learn to be respectful in his old age. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts when it comes to all of that? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.